With the Kings losing in the first round of the play-in, especially after they traded their star point guard De'Aaron Fox, it looks like the DeMar DeRozan experience in Sacramento is not going as planned and might come to an end. What is up, y'all, and welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be talking about DeMar DeRozan, especially we're going to focus on him because we got some crazy news when it comes to him off the court and on the court. So stay tuned for all that. And before we get into the video, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe. I always ask this, but it helps me so much, and we're growing every single day, so I appreciate y'all subbing and liking it up. So, yeah, let's get into it now. So we're going to start with his on-court problems, as it's not really anything to do with him, but the Kings just lost by 14 points in the first round of the play-in. As the whole season was a massive disappointment, and I will say it was not DeMar DeRozan's fault because he did play very well in this game. He left it all on the court, putting up 33, 7, and 2 with 2 steals. That was a very good game, and the whole team just didn't show up. I mean, Sabonis played bad, LaVine played all right, but his defense was really bad if you watched the game, and then no one else really did anything. So, I don't know, man. The whole Sabonis experiment in Sacramento, it just seems like it didn't work, and it seems like they need to move on. As I got a tweet from Legion Hoops about before the play-in, I think a couple weeks before the play-in, and it says, DeMar DeRozan and DeMar and Sabonis are expected to have tough conversations with the Kings about their future this offseason. And it makes sense. I mean, Sabonis is in the middle of his prime, and DeRozan's coming to the end of his prime. DeRozan is still putting up great numbers. He's still playing well, but, it's just not going to translate to wins on the Kings because the Kings, this whole team does not look good. I think they need to rebuild, and it starts with trading DeRozan and Sabonis, but I think it really starts with trading DeRozan because, this is a really good season he came off of, and, if you trade him and maximize trade value from him, you could get some good assets. So the Kings' plan A would definitely be trading away DeMar DeRozan because you could probably get a first-round pick or maybe even 2, who really knows, or you can just get a good solid role player back for DeRozan and maybe a couple seconds. I don't really know there, but DeRozan had a really good year, and honestly, towards the end of the season, he was their best player. I know Sabonis is going off, but Sabonis just didn't really look like he was in it after the trade with Fox, and it seemed like DeRozan kind of tried to step in and try to carry the team after that because Sabonis' numbers were kind of going down. But as we all know, DeRozan and LaVine don't really work together, especially as the backcourt. The defense is just too limited, and if DeRozan wants to be on a winning team, he needs to be next to a good defending guard, and LaVine is just not that. So, it's either they trade LaVine or DeRozan, but I feel like DeRozan would be the smarter person to trade if you're the Kings, especially because he's aging, and, he's probably only going to get worse from here. And after their play-in loss, DeRozan basically had this to say: "This is probably the most I've been through in my 16-year career," and this is DeMar DeRozan on his first season with the Kings. And if you really think about this, if you really think about this quote, that is actually insane for him to say. First of all, because he went through one of the biggest backstabs a franchise can do to you in NBA history, to be honest, because the Raptors traded him for Kawhi Leonard. Granted, it was the right move. They won a championship out of it. But, it's a big backstab because DeRozan was their future, or he was their star. He was a superstar player, and they just traded him out of the blue. So, that was a crazy backstab. And the fact that he said his tenure with the Kings was the most he's been through in his whole career, that's insane to me. Because DeRozan's been the lead guy and missed the playoffs quite a lot. He missed the playoffs, I think, a couple years, maybe 2 years with the Spurs. He missed the playoffs, I think, the last 2 years with the Bulls as well. And then, he's had some tough, heartbreaking losses with the Raptors to LeBron James. So, I don't know, man. The fact that he's saying this is the most he's been through, I don't know. If you really think about it, it's crazy. But this quote essentially is saying that he won't probably be with the Kings next year because why would he go out there and say that in front of the whole media if he wasn't, trying to get out of the Kings situation? If it seems pretty obvious at this point that the Kings are going to blow it up, and if they don't, it just doesn't make sense at all to me because, you don't spend all this money on all these star players just to be bounced, not even in the playoffs. You get bounced in the play-in. So, I don't know, man. Something's not working there. But yeah, the Kings definitely need to blow it up, and I feel like DeRozan needs to be the first one to be gone. And what he said at that press conference also could be related to his off-court problems, as we actually got a tweet from NBA Central, and this is per TMZ. And the tweet goes, DeMar DeRozan reportedly got into a fight at a sushi spot after a man shoved a phone with a bright light in his face. Witnesses say DeRozan knocked the phone away, a brawl broke out, and the man ended up in an ambulance. And we actually have the video, so I'm going to show you guys that first, and then we're going to talk about this.
Let him go! Let him go! Let him go, D! Let him go!
I need my phone. I need my phone. Come on, come on, get out. I'm a big fan. Come on, I'm a big fan. You my hero.
So the clip basically starts off with DeRozan pushing some guy on the ground, it looks like. And, you guys can rewind the clip if you guys want to. But, I'm sure there's a lot more escalating in the beginning that got to this point. So I'm sure DeRozan is not fully in the wrong. I'm sure the guy instigated it. And DeRozan probably had a valid reason to start, fighting him. I don't know. I mean, DeRozan's from Compton. He has that natural instinct in him, and I don't blame him at all if someone's doing that to him. But, DeRozan is an NBA star. He's an all-star player. I mean, kids idolize this guy, so he can't really be doing stuff like this. I know he probably had a valid reason, don't get me wrong. And, I mean, a lot of you guys would probably fight too if you were in his position. But you got to think about it. This guy's making millions of dollars a year to play basketball. Kids look up to this guy, and he just can't be doing stuff like this, especially if it's going to go on TMZ. I mean, TMZ is like the worst place to get exposed by. So, I don't know, man. This is kind of all questionable behavior by DeMar DeRozan. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. But I feel like his comments in that interview or press conference where he said this is the most he's been through in his 16-year career basically had something to do with this. I don't know. Maybe I'm stretching, but he feels, I mean, if he's saying this, he might be going through some mental stuff, or he's just going through, a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, and it basically just all erupted on this poor guy. I don't really know. We don't really know the full story of that guy, but, it could have all been built up, and he just released that anger on him. But moral of the story of this video, the DeMar DeRozan tenure in Sacramento did not work out at all, and I feel like it'd be best for him and the Kings if he can move on to a new team, if they can find him a trade target or a trade destination for him, and he could go to another contending team, and then, the Kings can fully rebuild, trade Sabonis after that, maybe trade Levine and just rebuild there. I feel it could be a win-win for the player and the team, right? And I mean, whatever that Sacramento air has been feeding DeRozan, it's definitely not been doing him good mentally and just physically. I don't know. It just seems like he's going through a lot. So make sure you guys send your prayers for DeRozan, because no one really knows what he's going through. Like, no one really knows. Like, these athletes have their own personal life, and they could all be going through their own stuff, their own trauma, their own, their own emotions. I don't really know, but just keep that all in mind, and, don't judge him too much after that fight. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. Let me know if you guys think DeMar DeRozan should be traded or where you think he should go. I'm interested in seeing those in the comment section. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe like I said earlier, and we out.